here's a quick one. Final Fantasy battle system. Main Final Fantasy battle system. Final Fantasy 1. I mean, it's pretty simple. It is the starting of all of the other Final Fantasy games, but it is still pretty simple. Really basic. B for basics. FF2. Who thought that punching yourself was a good way to level up? Like, not a good battle system. They tried something new. I am glad they dropped it because it was not good. Not good at all. FF3. FF3 was the first Final Fantasy real job system. They took the 6 jobs that were available on FF1 and they're like, let's make it better. That's A tier to me. You're gonna see a huge trend. Hey, Judy. Final Fantasy 4. It had a good battle system. If I remember correctly, FF4 was also the first ATB, and ATB was important in the whole thing. You punch yourself every day, you don't feel stronger. Well, see, FF2 was a lie. I'm doing okay, Judy. Thank you. So I'm gonna put FF4 in A tier for the battle system. Reminder, we're doing Final Fantasy battle system tier. FF4 is strong. FF4 did a lot. It introduces ATB. It introduces 5 characters. The battle system of FF4 was very good. Final Fantasy 5 job system. I'm actually going to put FF5 in S tier. Why S tier, you ask? Job system. How many jobs? Too many jobs. But the fact that you could have sub jobs and passives, kind of reminiscent of like how Final Fantasy Tactics did it. So FF5 had so much customization. You could be a Spellblade chemist and wreck everything. You could be a Beastmaster with whatever passive on yourself to be absolutely OP. It had Teehee. S tier. S tier. Final Fantasy 6. It's pretty B tier to me. What did Final Fantasy 6 do over FF? Anything. Nothing. It was basic. They were like, oh, we know how to do an ATB now. Let's introduce Desperation Attack. Something that you never controlled. Not the best in my opinion. So to me, FF6 didn't really introduce anything new. As far as battle system goes, basic, not that impressive. But again, I was not super impressed with Final Fantasy VI to begin with. Pincer attack, woo. Final Fantasy VII. The battle system of FF7 was pretty good. It was ATB. The limit break system was really good. I'm gonna put that in high B. High B because it was the same. Limit breaks were better. 3 characters only. So we went from like 5 to 4 to 4 to 3. It did have, oh, that's true. That's a good point. The materia system is worth mentioning. Leveling out materias, the different things that materias could do, the junction materia was really good. That is a very good point. That's a very good point. Let's watch all the Bahamut summons. It had Knight of the Realm. Do we need to say more? Final Fantasy VIII? I'm really sorry. A lot of people might disagree. Final Fantasy VIII battle system is A tier to me. You know what's coming up? Junction, Elemental, Water Absorb. You never get hit. Junction, Meltdown on Vitality. Like, they're just, you could... The fact that you could affect your stats with high tier magic and kind of bounce like this, fantastic. FF8 gave you personalizations that you could not really get in other games. You want to switch from a sleep on hit to a death on hit? You don't need a different weapon to do this. You just go to your menu, switch out the thing. You want to be immune to whatever you want? You can be immune to whatever you want. The battle system, with the GF and the abilities and everything, like everything included, FF8 did something that most Final Fantasies didn't do. That is in the menus, not in the battle system. It still affects the battle though. They had more time. Yeah, like you could go in a fight against specific monsters, but like you could very early on in game you can make yourself immune to Ifrit if you really try hard. Because the battle system allows you to customize everything. It's fantastic. Final Fantasy IX. Well, FF9 had a pretty basic battle system. You had your 4 characters. You learned your skills by equipping stuff. Trying to think. The trance system would drop it down to B immediately. Where's 9? Roman numerals 9. Just the fact that trance happened randomly. Yikes. Yikes. I've been watching Roller Coaster. What's in Finn's FF8 playthrough? Oh yeah. Like I can't tell if he likes it or not. I really liked FF8's battle system, and I thought the junction was like, it made a world of a difference knowing what to do there. But yeah, FF9, I found the battle system like pretty lackluster. It was well handled, but the trance system, I was gonna put it in A, but just thinking of trance, that's automatic B. That was a terrible idea. Final Fantasy X battle system. That's instant like S+. I'm gonna put that on top of, yeah. Battle system of Final Fantasy X was good. It was turn-based on speed. You can turn manip based on what you did. Like you had quick hits. You had your delay busters. You had time to plan. You can turn manip by changing equipment. The fact that you could switch out your back row and your front row in battle at any given time, amazing. You only had to have one first strike, put Yuna in the back, get in the battle, first strike on, switch him out for Yuna, summon, murder, everything, done. Final Fantasy X's battle system, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm doing all the spin-off after. Overdrives were good. Overdrives were when you wanted it to happen. You had different options. Some of the quests, like some of them were quests you had to do, or you had to backtrack for Auron's overdrives. Kimari's blue magic, like it was just everybody. Oh, Riku overdrive. Do we need to say more? The fact that you can control your summons, that's true. That is the first game where you had full-fledged control, except the stupid Magus sisters, but the other ones, you know, the summons felt like they were part of your team. They were your party member. It was so good. It was so good. Final Fantasy 11 isn't even on there. No, it is. I don't know. How do I add a tier? Add a row below, and it's gonna be black. Whoops. Whoops. New question mark. I don't know. I've never played FF11. I don't know what the battle system is. The fact that you have to have people online to help you out, I don't know how I feel about that. The fact that, yeah, I don't know. Dated UI, yeah, I just, again, I've never played it. I can't make that call. It's gonna go into a question mark. I have no fucking idea. Final Fantasy 12. I also think it's pretty high up here in S tier. Why? The fact that you could absolutely 100% set up your gambit to beat almost everything in the game. How is that not top tier? The fact that you can beat the game and the hardest fights in the game, including all trial 100 at level 3 because this battle system is so fucking good. S tier. The fact that you could switch between your character mid-battle unless they weren't targeted or had an action. But the fact that you could be like, okay, I need my white mage right now. Okay, front bench. Okay, Penelo, get out there immediately. Amazing. All of the hunts, especially the higher level hunts or the later game hunts, had different ways to and different challenges, and you had to really kind of sit there and not really study, but understand how the monster's AI behaved, and then you had to be like, okay, well, you know, if he's gonna have debt on hit, I need to apply shell on everyone to try and mitigate that. Okay, if he's got to reflect, how do and he has palings, how do I get through this palings, right? So Final Fantasy 12 was high, to me, it's a very strategic battle system. Loved it. But again, if we look at my tier list from earlier, FF12 is one of my favorite Final Fantasies, so I'm a little biased here, but I think FF12 did it really, really well. If you're a fan of coding, that's what I hear a lot, Daka. A lot of people tell me, oh, it's basically coding. It's like, well, then code. But it is. It's FF12 is what if statements. If this happened, do this. If this happened, do that. If nothing happens, then do this instead. It's really good. Final Fantasy 13 battle system. It's good, but it's gonna be only slightly better than, it's gonna be high B. It could, like, it absolutely could fight for you. You can press X to win, but then you're gonna have a bad time at all of the bosses. There's only like a handful of fights in the game where you really had to sit there and think about what's the requirement, what do I need to do, like the Gestalt fights. Like those were the only really one that I struggled. And then there's Bartandalus, which gives you Doom, and it's like, hey, have fun. So I'm gonna put it in B because it hasn't a whole, like, it didn't really innovate on much. It was still pretty basics. Like it reminds me of FF9 a lot, except there's a cut and keep value in there. I didn't know about the paradigm quick switching. Yes, so there's the ATB refresh trick in Final Fantasy 13 where if you did a full bar, you queue up your action, and as you do your last action, you paradigm shift to the exact same one if you needed. And then it would refill your bar, and every 2 sequences you could ATB refresh like this. Does it help? Yes. It makes it a lot better if, let's say, you're speedrunning and stuff, but does it really affect you beating the game? No, not really. The scan and break mechanics. Yes, so you had to have, there's the, oh my goodness. Mike!
Please tell me you didn't come here to start your nonsense again.
Number 01, happy Tay hype tomorrow into your hype today and die a.
Thank you for the $5 donation. I really hope we finish Tay tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do if we don't. But yeah, so in Final Fantasy 13, there was the whole like what was it called? You had to break the enemies. So stagger, got it. Stagger gauge. So you had to use your commandos and it was commandos and saboteurs, and then they would slow down the gauge decreasing, and then your ravagers would really, really quickly build up that gauge. And so you had to have a commando to lock, and then, instead of a commando, you could have a saboteur to just lock the gauge. And then you would take your ravagers and you would build it really, really quick, and then you wanted to lock it so you don't lose it. And then after a while, you could break the enemies, and then you would switch to all your either saboteur again or commandos, and then do a shit ton of damage and stuff. So it was a cool system, but I don't know that it was like make or break for the game. After 14's battle system, like, hello. The fact that you can switch class, you can be any class on one character. FF3, well, it's not, well, it's a little bit better than FF8. It's a little bit better than FF5. I'm messing it up. 14, there we go. 14 is good. Play the video game. It's good. 15's battle system, I have to put it in C. Because for me, I struggled in FF15, especially at the beginning. I don't play action games. I'm not good at action games. If you didn't know, we're gonna struggle in FF16. We'll do it anyway. I played all of Final Fantasy 15 with daggers because that's all I was like comfortable playing. And I feel like that shouldn't have been doable, but there was almost too many options and I felt really overwhelmed. The magic system honestly left some places to be desired. Like it could have been a lot better. I like crafting the magic, but the fact that you had to collect stuff, like it was just, FF15 was all over the place. Didn't super enjoy it. The summons were random, only if you were almost dying, and you didn't get a choice. And Leviathan barely ever came to your help except that one time in the story. Like it was a mess. And the friendly fire was actually kind of really funny. Okay. Final Fantasy IV, the After Years, is the exact same battle system as FF4. Where do we put FF4? It's technically better than FF4 because it's got better combined magic. Final Fantasy VII Remake battle system. So this is an action game that did ATB really, 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 really well. And I'm gonna put that before here. Oh, moon mechanic. I'm dropping that to B. That's right. The moon mechanic absolutely sucks and I forgot about it. Thank you. The moon mechanic killed the game for me. I'm dropping that into C because it was shitty. And it changes on you randomly. Thank you for the reminder. So yeah, FF7 Remake was fantastic. Even though it's an action game, you can still play it kind of like an ATB game. And I loved it. Honestly, the limit breaks were great. The material customization for FF7 Remake was great. I think it belongs in high A. It flows really well. This one might surprise some people, but Final Fantasy X-2 right here. Final Fantasy X-2 shines in its battle system. It's a job system, so that's amazing. But the fact that you can change job in battle, you can stun lock enemies. There's actually a trophy for getting a huge chain for just stun locking enemies because of the way the battle system goes. Like you can make enemies never take a turn if you plan it really well. It had trigger happy. How can you not love it? Final Fantasy X-2 has a lot of flaws, but let me tell you, the battle system is not it. It was really well done. And I feel like the battle system has shaped the future of ATB. The ATB that we have in FF7 Remake, I'm sure takes some elements from X-2. Hi, Shinobi. Final Fantasy 13 too. So huge improvement on Final Fantasy 13. And it had the Pokemon system, which I really, really, really liked. And so I'm going to put it right after 7 Remake. 13.2 had the Pokemon system. It had the same kind of paradigms, options that you could get from Final Fantasy 13, but you could have Cactars do it for you. Therefore, A tier. And last but not least, for the Final Fantasy battle system tier list, Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns, I thought had a really strong battle system. So you had 3 different jobs, because it was a job system. You had 3 different jobs with fantastic costumes, by the way, and dyeable costumes. And some of the jobs, if you blocked at the right time, you took 0 damage. Some of the jobs were absolutely OP. Some of the jobs, they couldn't even get hit, or they had the most powerful combos. It was really, really well done for a solo player game. Battle system, I would put that on top of Final Fantasy IV, I think. Because even though the game was stressful because of the timer, even though the game was chaotic, is that a pun? Because they deal with chaos, but even though the game was very chaotic, the battle system is what I enjoyed the most out of it, and the customization. And the dress spheres, or what were they called? They weren't called paradigms, they were called... I don't remember. I don't remember what they were called, but I thought that was a cool system. It would have just been really good if we had other party members able to equip the jobs and stuff. And then yeah, that is my official Final Fantasy battle tier list. Battle system list. I think